Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity to present our ECI, Unconditional Basic Income, throughout CEU. And Ronald Blaschke and I was not able to participate in face-to-face, but at least I have now the possibility about the video conference, and thank you very much that it is possible. Our unconditional basic income shall not replace the welfare state, but rather complete and transform the same from a compensatory into an emancipatory welfare state. So that you have not to be at first completely poor until you get help. No, it should be a real right to get this unconditional basic income from the beginning of your life until the end of your life, and the bureaucracy would be much fewer if we take it as we have described it. This UBI is described and defined by the following 4 criteria, and these are also described in our ECI for unconditional basic income. There are 4 criteria: universal, that means everybody in the country; individual, that means each person, man, women, child, and so on; unconditional, of no other condition, only to live; and high enough that you can live in dignity in the country, in your home country. So now why fight for UBI in addition to peace? Because now with these Ukraine problems, we have the following. We have at the moment a terrible situation with the war in Ukraine. And we see that besides the problems with the pandemic, this is also hindering us to get the people to speak about unconditional basic income, because people think the help for people coming from the Ukraine are more important now. In our opinion, this is not true, because both is important to be taken into account in parallel. During a war and a pandemic, many people lose their incomes and need help. Now I came immediately to the human rights. Human rights and the fundamental rights associated with them are not simply given to people, they are to be fought for. In addition, human and fundamental rights are unconditionally granted to all human beings. Political, civil, economic, social, and cultural rights belong to people because they are human. That is the only condition to live and work self-determined, to engage in solidarity, democratically and politically, to live in a healthy environment and intact nature. This is the right of all living people as well as all future generations of people. So I want now to come to the next item, why we should go for democracy and social justice. And here is our answer. Democracy is nothing without citizens who have the chance to take part in building society, in public affairs. Of course, that is a matter of real possibilities, infrastructures, but that is also a matter of material financial security of every human being. Unconditional basic income allows everyone to take part in public affairs regarding their own material and temporal possibility, precariousness, too much labor, and poverty exclude out of the public affairs of society. And no class, no person whom is guaranteed an unconditional basic income can be blackmailed with promises about jobs, economic growth, and trickle-down effects, all these stories. Now, sustainability, ecological transition is impossible without unconditional social security for all people. Why? We have 4 items. First, by mitigating economic insecurity, UBI removes a massive barrier to ecological progress. De Gross advocates, for example, agree that chronic economic uncertainty blocks important transformation processes, including ecological one. The second point, UBI is typically seen as promoting citizens' participation in democracy, which in turn creates the groundwork for the transition to a more sustainable economy and social, which mean believed to be attainable only through democracy means. The third point was UBI could engender an economic based on solidarity rather than competition. Some parts of the De Gross movement believes that the solidarity-based economy, in contrast to a profit-oriented competitive economy, is the only way to thwart excessive consumption of nature and resources. And the last point, 4, UBI enables individuals to exercise much greater contact over their own time. And many of the De Gross movements maintain that shortening the period of gainful employment and having more time available for other activities is a transaction project on the way to a society with De Gross. I'm coming to a further item that is now, a moment, I have to look to my paper. Yes. So I come immediately to our ECI itself. Yes, there we have made the following aims mentioned in that subject matter. Is our aim is to establish the introduction of unconditional basic incomes throughout the EU, which ensure every person's material existence and opportunity to participate in society as part of its economic policy. And the aim shall be reached while remaining within the competence conferred to in the EU by the treaties. Certainly, we would, I think in this conference it is already mentioned, have in mind a better treaty as we have it now, with other competences and so on. And but nevertheless, to get an ECI accepted, we have to be in that time, in our time now, to be in the remaining competences of the EU. But now, as the objectives, I will include here.
Klaus, more or less how long you need? Let's say 1 minute and we go to the conclusion.
Yes, I'm just coming to the conclusion. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That is one point we have in our goals mentioned that we ask the EU Commission that they should make a proposal for an unconditional basic income. That doesn't mean that we don't know what we want to have. which I have described before, so that is in the annex described. But we have mentioned that the EU Commission, the EU Red and the EU Parliament have already said 2017 that they want to have in the member state some means to guarantee something like the unconditional basic income, but they have not done it. So we hope now that we get a successful number of signatures, that it will be done in the next discussions with the EU Parliament and with the Commission. So we hope very much that all you have perhaps already heard about it. And if not, we would ask you that you could support us, our ECI, and that would be very helpful for us. Thank you. I have now shortened a little, but I think it would be too long if we would give more information at the moment. Yes?